First of all, Ethan, thanks so much for joining us here on Astro Premier League. Congratulations being back in the Premier League, of course. How does it feel personally to know that you're going to be back playing in the Premier League and, of course, helping your team do that? I mean, the race to 100 points was really quite something, wasn't it, last season?
Yeah, no, of course. Very exciting for all of us. I think from the moment it was secured promotion and then champions, that was like, especially for who of us were here for the 2 years and had like that heartbreak in the first year. It was a bit of a relief to say. We still know we obviously got a massive challenge ahead, but to get that first sort of step done was a big accomplishment for us. And since that moment, the break, obviously everyone was well rested, but since we've all come back into pre-season, been working hard and raring to go.
Yeah, I think for you personally as well, it's nice to have a summer after promotion. I think how important is it, do you feel, to harness that feel good feeling, that momentum going into the start of the Premier League month, which is quite tricky for you guys. I mean, Everton first, and it's Arsenal and Newcastle as well.
Yeah, I mean, after promotion, it makes it a little bit easier to unwind and relax. Can obviously enjoy it a little bit more. But I mean, no matter who you play that first three games, it's going to be tough. Obviously, this is our schedule, so it's three important games which we're excited for. No cliches, but Monday's the big one that we're looking forward to for now because it's the first game back. Ellen Road, Monday night. We know what the atmosphere is going to be like. So for us players, we're just going to try and relish, enjoy that, and play to our best.
Now, I do have to apologize. I don't mean to burst your bubble when the season hasn't actually started yet. But with all three promoted clubs, the past two seasons having gone back down, has that in any way dampened optimism? Like, what can you learn from those six clubs the last two seasons?
Um, Different times, different teams, maybe different styles, and we first of all we know that it's going to be a challenge to stay up. It's why you're in the Premier League. It's the best league in the world, as everyone sort of says. So we're aware of what's happened. That doesn't mean that the three teams who have now gone up have just accepted defeat and been like, "Oh, that's it. We want to change that." Not just us, I'm sure. Burnley, Sunderland are having the same mindset, but for us, it's focusing on ourselves and doing the things that we need to do throughout this season. The performances and the results we need to get throughout this season to be sitting here next year in the Premier League again.
What do you think you can learn from those instances?
That's not going to be easy. Um, within their games, it was like the finer details, final sort of things against teams who have a lot of high quality. So for us, I don't want to give too much away that we've been working on, but yeah, we can learn from everything.
Well, let's talk about your positions then. As a centre back and a defensive midfielder yourself, these are the two roles you predominantly play. Um, to from a fan perspective, right? What are the subtle differences, would you say, playing these two positions that you think that fans don't really see, but to a player themselves, it's quite evident?
Um, as a home midfielder, maybe the game's 360. Normally, when you're as a centre back, you're aware of maybe the space in behind, but you don't always have to be constantly checking it because more often than not the game's in front of you. Whereas as a midfielder, as I just said, it's 360. You can be pressed from all angles. Both have their challenges, and I'm hoping that I've proved that I can maybe play in both. But there's also a lot of things that I know myself that I can improve on.
Do you have a preference?
Where I've said this maybe for a few years, wherever I've been playing in that time. So if you were to ask me after a running game playing as a centre back, I'd told you there. And if you were to ask me after running games playing as a midfielder, I'd probably tell you there.
Yeah, you enjoy the challenges of each, I guess. You enjoy both roles in different ways. How, of course, it's been a busy summer for Leeds to some level. How excited are you with some of the new signings? Dominic Calvert-Lewin just about through the door at the point of recording. How excited are you for that?
We're all very excited about the ones that you've seen in however many minutes they've played over pre-season. I guess for fans you've watched, but for us, having them here since pre-season and being able to watch them, we knew their quality straight away. Um, I've said this before, like one thing that helped last year with our squad was like our togetherness as a team. We were a nice group, got along with everyone. We pushed each other in the hard moments, and the new players, I think, and what's been so important for them is that they've came in and like breezed into that. They're all good guys, good people, and they're all on the same challenge for us.
I think one change for you, perhaps one of the transfers that will be big for you in terms of your own individual role is the goalkeeper role, being the one that's in front of him most of the time. How is it like for you to learn new goalkeepers' games, what they are like behind you, and how what do you try to pick up and what do you try to adapt with?
Uh, Not just to try and get away from the question, but no matter what signing comes in, everyone has their own sort of different style, and the different like their different niches on the way they play the game. Obviously, within that, we've got our team principle and our principles, and the way we want to play as a team. And like you said, that no matter whatever player or whatever position, they all have their own different strengths and weaknesses within that. So it's just adapting to those things, and those players adapting to the way that we want to play it.
Well, I think throughout your career, considering how young you started your senior career, there's a lot of adapting going on in your own life as well. You did start very early. Let's talk very quickly about that. You made your senior appearance at 15. I think even at Chelsea as well, you broke another 10-year record. Would you change how early that came for you?
No, definitely not. I'll never want to change or anything that any decisions that I've made throughout my career. Obviously, made those decisions at the time, or decisions to move to certain teams at those times I thought was the right thing. Everyone wants to be a footballer from as soon as possible, as young as possible. So I'd never complain about playing at a young age. I obviously have a lot of appreciation and trust for the managers that put me in those positions.
What do you feel are some of the positive and negatives of making senior debuts so early? And is there a pressure now with clubs because of how competitive it is that they are pushing younger and younger players to make their senior debuts?
Um, I get maybe from the outside, it can seem like a negative in terms of putting a spotlight on a player like that. But at the end of the day, if a manager believes in the player to do that, I'm pretty sure every player in that position is going to believe in themselves. So for me, it's only real positives, and you learn the men's game a lot quicker. You have to adapt to, not to say that word adapt again, but you have to adapt to the physical demands, tactical, technical demands of first team football.
Do you feel there is a growing demand for younger and younger debuts?
Um, I don't know if it's a demand. I think it's just everyone wants to play first team football as quick as they can. Um, but also in that you have to understand and appreciate that everyone's got different paths and different journeys. Just if someone starts at 50, makes their first start at 15, I don't think at 18 you can rule yourself out of being a first team player either.
You've also spoken a lot about your dad's influence, of course. I won't kind of run through that with you. But is that dynamic different now when he's not your coach, or is he still one of those dads that's like watching your game and tell you what's good and what's bad, what you need to improve?
He's first he's a dad more than a coach. There's been times in my career where I've always could bounce things off him if I've got ideas or if he's got ideas that I can improve in my game. But it's more often as a dad than a coach. We've also had our times where the dad-player relationship is butted heads maybe, but I've always got to support him no matter what I do.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Ethan. Of course, all the best for the season that's coming up.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Appreciate that.
Thank you.